Hey, everybody, welcome to HBCU. Hey, listen, Trump attacks the Divine Nine sororities and Kamala Harris for attending an unimportant boule, as he might put it. What are your thoughts? Hey, everybody, welcome to HBCU Original. This is Vince and Coach JL Williams. Hey, what's up, Coach?
Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing, man?
Man, we just want. Hey, listen.
Well, we had a doozy last night, baby.
Yeah.
We had a doozy last night, man. I'm telling you, it's never a dull moment when you got Donald Trump on the scene. You know he's going to come say something way out of left field.
You know, he took me for a loop, man. When he talked about the Divine Nine, you know, he said Kamala was, you know, she chuckled a little bit, was out partying, doing a very important event. And I find that, you know, just to be kind of, you know, wild, one of the most wildest statements he made amongst others.
He made a few of them now. He talked about in Ohio that they was eating the canines. They was eating the dogs. I said, what? That came out, look. Even the moderator had to say, hold, you know, he was like, hold up. You know, now they had done some research and got and you know, had the federal government really do some research on what he said. He said they have no recollection.
I got to check right now.
Dogs being eaten in Ohio.
Let me see if my dog or cat is around.
Yeah, you better keep him locked up. I tell you, according to Trump, they gonna eat him. Man, listen.
Yeah,
there's just no telling what this man get ready to say.
And you know, and they had a fiery debate last night in Philadelphia. And you know, a lot of things that were falsely stated about the abortion claims, immigration, you know, rhetoric, attacks on Harris. I mean, you know, NATO and Putin. And I mean, sometimes it's hard to you know, take him for the truth if you constantly keep putting out, you know, crazy statements, and not just Trump, as well as Harris as well. She made some that may have not been true as well. She just wasn't outlandish. So, you know.
Well, I think she's a student, and then she's very well learned. You know, this woman is a prosecutor, man. You know what I mean? So she's educated to you know, a degree that Trump just, you know, he just, you know, he doesn't have that, you know, he doesn't have that skill set. And so it shows once he gets in debates and gets in situations that he has to lean toward the drama, you know, and all the stuff that he sort of conjures up and brings with that, because he really has nothing else though to say. I mean, he really doesn't. But
one of the topics too, man, that really stood out is that he called her, you know, a Marxist. You know, he accused her of destroying the country. I don't know. If she's, you know, chime in, everybody. I mean, what are your thoughts? He called her a Marxist. You know, that she hated, you know, Israelis and Arabs, and in addition, you know, not really, you know, paying people to come to some of her, you know, her rallies. One of the, you know, crazy comments.
Yeah, that doesn't even sound right. That sounds really outlandish. I mean, people are coming to support whoever their candidate is. You know what I mean? So, you know, nobody's getting. I can't see nobody getting paid to come support their own candidate. They're coming because they're supporting that person. So there's a lot of off the you know, scale stuff that he says. And, you know, to her point, she says that we just need to turn the page. You know, we need to turn the page because a lot of things that he has said in the past, and, you know, these things just simply aren't, they're not valid, they're not true. And then when they go fact checking about the statements that he made, you know, it comes out that it's bogus. And so, and then when they confront him about it, He said, "Well, we got to see. We got to.
Yeah.
We got to see."
I think one of the claims where he talked about the undocumented immigrants, were
Mhm.
coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. I definitely wanted to talk about that. Also, taking Black and Latino jobs. He suggested that,
Well, he talked
Harris.
about black jobs. Bro,
Yeah,
I want to find out what is a black job, man.
yeah, that
I don't
that
know
that
what a
is.
black
Yeah,
job is.
I wanted to chime in on that.
I still, he still hasn't like clarified that for me.
Yeah,
What is a black job?
I thought it was all American jobs, and this is how they keep us divided, man. You talk
Yeah,
about white
yeah,
white jobs and black jobs, but when I go to Walmart, I see black and white both working.
sure, no doubt.
It's a
You
job.
know,
It's a job.
it's a
I go
job. A
to the I go
job.
to
It's
the
a
bank.
job.
I go to the
If
bank.
you're
I see.
working,
I go to the
you're being gainfully employed. You're working. You know, it's a legitimate
bank.
situation. It's a
It's a
job.
job. It's a job. It needs to stop that because it's really dividing the country.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't agree with a lot of things they on both sides. Um, and but these crazy and outlandish statements. These I think last night he did try to clear up the comment as far as being a bloodbath if he didn't win. He did try to clear. He said he wasn't talking about the country being at war or at civil war. It was something else. So you know um, hey man, it was a wild event though. I found it to be amusing. I did and I think will they do it again? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, based on what I saw, I don't even really see the need to do it again because I don't see him being able to bring some good, intelligent information other than the things that he said, last night. So what he said last night was just a part of like I think his conversation that he would bring wherever he went. So if they did it again, it would probably be a rehearsal of last night.
Hmm. Okay.
He's not a guy that is he's not a thinker. He's not a he's really off the cuff. And I know his team tries their best to keep him in a professional state, but his
Yeah.
just the way he is, he's just gonna be who he is. And it's sadly that we have people in our country that will support that.
Yeah.
The ignorance that flows
Yeah.
out of his mouth is just and then it really
That
when
part.
you look at that, it's really not about politics, it's not about any of that. It's just these are people that just want to support him for whatever reason. And there's a myriad of reasons that that people choose to do that. But
Yeah,
I
man.
just we need somebody presidential in the White House that can speak intelligently to the matters that we're facing and all those things. We need somebody that can accurately, speak on behalf of our country and intelligently.
Yeah, intelligent.
Um, yeah, that's just because just think about it. It's so many things have been sort of dummied down.
Yeah.
Um, just having just think about what do our kids have to look forward to if they see a
Yeah,
president
and
like that.
that's one of the things I want to,
You know what I mean? I work with kids. You know what I
they
mean?
watching it, man, and they're watching this nonsense.
Come on, they
Yeah.
watching this, and even when I query young people about Trump, they like, man, they just shake their head like that. Like, man, he just will say anything. He doesn't sound intelligent. He has no intellectual, conversation that is worth listening to. And so
Uh,
these are children that are watching this man and assessing how he's just pouring out all of this lies and all this other stuff that just is not. And when people go fact checking behind him, it doesn't line up. And so, man, we got
hey,
to do better.
if you're tuning in, this is HBCU Original Listen. We're talking about the debate last night between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in Philadelphia, PA. Hey, listen, and also if you are a member of the sororities, the AKAs, and for those who don't know, Kamala Harris is a member of the AKAs, sorority. She did
Hmm.
attend both the AKAs and the Sigma Gamma Rho's Boulay in July. These two are among the Divine Nine, for those who don't know, um, which are a part of the nine historically black fraternities and sororities. So we're talking about Donald Trump and some of his antics last night. We also are talking about Harris. We're not going to let her slide either as well. So on both sides, what they stand for, what they don't stand for, and like you said before, what are I guess what would be the outcome for our youth coming up, um, who will be greatly
Yeah.
affected by this presidency. So in my opinion, they said, well, who won the debate? Uh, I'm going to tip my hat and just say, I guess column one for Harris, simply because I think she was just poised. She was, she had rebuttals for Donald Trump, and she also did have some truth behind some of her statements. And Donald Trump is just, outlandish. Sometimes just crazy. The one that got me, eating the dogs. I mean, and let me tell you, and for those who don't
No,
know,
this not just dogs, but cats. So it
hey
wasn't just
man,
dogs that they weren't discriminating in Ohio. They ate dogs and cats. He said,
that's a good question. Would you eat a cat? Would you eat a dog?
"Man, listen,
Because some countries they eat dogs and cats. It's a delicacy.
yeah, but you never seen that here. I ain't never seen
How,
nobody do it here.
how you
I,
know?
I, I have never seen anybody do that.
I said, how do you know?
And I'm sure in other third world countries they might do that, but I have never seen that happen here. Like I've never seen anybody get a cat or a dog and put him over the stove. No, I ain't never seen that.
Now, if you go down
So
south, you get that good old possum. I had that possum down there, that
did you
raccoon.
have some possum? I ain't never had no possum.
Oh
The
yeah,
possum, you had possum?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, was it good?
It was savory, but they dressed it all up. They had the
Yeah,
onions
they
and
dress it all up. They make it look pretty. Well,
potato.
I tasted muskrat, and I had
Yeah, I
barbecued
mean,
muskrat, and
listen.
it was slamming. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Right. Um, so I don't know. I guess it just depends on the person. Whatever you take, but in some places in our country, that's what they did. So
I
they
mean,
eat
yeah,
all
man. You
kind
talking
of
about?
they
Listen,
eat.
imagine 200 years ago when none of this existed. None of these roads, these supermarkets, and all that, and they had to go hunt. Now you either
Yeah.
gonna eat or you gonna starve.
Yeah. Well, I know down in Louisiana, I know some guys down in Louisiana that I even went to school with, and they talked about these nature rats or something like that. But those things down there are like, they like delicacies. I mean, they love them down there. They eat them all kind of different ways. So hey, it's to each his own. But I can't see people eating that called dogs and cats.
Hey,
Uh,
but HBCU world, listen up. Who are you voting for right now? Chime in, comment. Who are you voting for right now? Is it Trump or is it Harris? Is it the
Right.
dog?
Well, they just had what's the young lady, the famous singer? She after the debate, she uh I can't think of her name. What's the young girl that the football player from the football player goes
Oh,
with?
Chelsea. I said I'm calling. I said
Chelsea. What's his
I mean,
girlfriend's name?
oh, yeah.
I can't think of her
It's
name right
Chelsea.
now.
Now I'm about to call him. That's the Chelsea brothers.
Yeah,
Um,
but his girlfriend after the debate, she just went public and said she is
I said
supporting Kamala Harris.
oh, he said that.
No, she said that. I was watching it on CNBC. She said she is supporting Taylor Swift. I think that's her
Taylor
name,
Swift.
Taylor
Okay.
Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift. She had made a public statement this morning to say after she listened to the debate that
Uh,
she said that she was in full support of Kamala Harris for president.
Let me explain something to
So
everybody. And this is one of the things I don't like. You shouldn't vote on appearance. You shouldn't vote for what sounds good, because what sometimes sounds good may not always be good for you. And just because it sounds good and it seems friendly, doesn't always make it right. It's almost a common effect. The Bible speaks about this. Sheep.
absolutely,
It's a wolf among sheep, and they will dress up just like sheep. So,
just like you.
does it, appeal to you? Is it right? Is it morally right?
Hmm.
And one of my things for me is it biblically right? And if it's
Yeah,
not biblically
absolutely.
right,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
care.
Yeah,
I don't care what you're talking about at the point. So,
yeah. And there's some
I don't.
things that on both on like I'm taking a page out of Donald Trump's book on both sides. There's some things on both sides that um that some things I like, some things I don't like. When we're dealing with the border, I'm more on the side of Trump with that when we're dealing with the border. But when we're dealing with other things, you know, um, you know, like with the abortion situation, I'm with the Harris campaign. I don't think the government should tell women how to handle their bodies, what they should do, what choice that they should make. I don't think the government should be playing a part in that. So on both sides, I have different things, but there's so much more on that I favor on the Harris side than I do the Trump side. So
They may
you
call
know,
you a what they call a liberal.
mhm.
So that may be similar to what you probably are, a liberal. Hey, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that,
Hold
a
up,
little bit of this.
my light went out.
So you know, we got some technical
Hold up.
difficulty. But hey, listen, if you're chiming in, we're talking about the Harris Trump debate last night, and one of the of things that people were chiming in was about is that Trump claimed that illegal immigrants were eating dogs and cats in some towns. Now, if I don't know what town you're in, but if you can send me
No,
an
it's
email
spring. No,
or
it's Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio.
That's what he said. In
I'm sure.
Springfield, Ohio. He was very
If,
specific. He
if
said
you're from
Springfield,
Springfield,
Ohio.
Ohio, please send me a picture of a missing, at least, your
You
cat
want
is,
to see a dog or cat on the stove?
please, we'll bring you on the show, man. Please,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just
If
want to,
there's any validity to Trump's statement, then we want to, we
I just
want
want
to
to know.
show and prove.
For me, I just want to know, please.
I want to put it to the test. But
Somebody out
because
there,
from the reports of the because according to the moderator, from the reports of the federal government, they have no knowledge of that. They had never heard of nobody taking dogs.
I want to talk to the local sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff. Oh, the sheriff of the town. So we can find out from him. Because they all around the local areas. They can tell if any dogs and cats is anybody been eating dogs and cats.
Hey, man,
Um,
you let us know, man. You let us know. Please let us know, and let us know
uh,
what season that y'all using too, because I want to try. But listen, man. I think it was a great first debate. They talked about abortion claims, immigration, NATO and Putin. Um, they didn't discuss. So my one of my things is how are they going to help transform impoverished areas, um,
mm,
and just to be frank, be clear, the ghettos of
yeah.
America, white and black. So
Mhm.
how are you going to help people get out of impoverished situations and um,
Hmm.
training, job training, and things of that nature. We need to see the ground level stuff, and not just nonsense. Speak
Yeah,
about what
yeah,
what really appeals to the people and what they really need, man. People are
yeah, no
starving.
doubt.
People are jobless. People are really in a rut right now. People don't have God fearing values. They don't even know. They don't even have moral values.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
our
And that,
leadership,
but that's because of our leadership,
right? Our leadership
right?
and it's both sides. So it's Democrat and Republican. So let's be clear. It's not just one side. You know, and leadership, can fall on both ways. I think people
Well,
always,
you know what? One of the things that I heard Kamala Harris talk about is lowering the prices at the supermarkets. So she did mention that of lowering prices of groceries and all those things and gas. So she did, to her credit, she did speak about that. So I have to give her props on that. She did mention that. So she mentioned a few things. She was very specific in the things that she was saying that affect the American people. And again, that's as a result of her background, her education. She just knows how to do this. I mean, she's a federal prosecutor. I mean, this is her trade.
she's a great orator. And
Yeah, and
like I said
she
before,
knows how to properly represent herself.
that doesn't mean it's right. Just because you can
No, it
speak,
doesn't.
and that's the dangers of politics, and that's what has plagued our community for many many years. We got great speakers who frankly ain't doing shit. Excuse my language, y'all. So that's one of they ain't doing nothing, man.
Mm.
Healthcare. We talking about, and they talked about. I think they did mention a little bit of healthcare, the tariffs on
Yeah.
China.
Hmm.
But there
The
was a lot of
tariff.
inflammatory. It was a lot of inflammatory language last night. Just a whole bunch of nonsense about nothing. That really, it's become like a reality show, man.
Hmm. No
At one
doubt.
point in time, I believe that he told, pointing at her. I think he told her, quiet, please, when she responded about, a comment about Russia. So,
Mm.
these are the antics, man, that are plaguing our community. It's plaguing the people. There's nothing getting done, man, on both sides. It's, it's just like like I said, it's a reality show, man. Um, when's it going to stop? You know what I mean? When's it going to
Well,
stop?
well, we
So
shall see what happens. Hopefully, they can. Well, we got 54 days left. It's countdown. 54 days left till the presidential election, and the people will speak on that day, and then we'll know. We'll know where the values lie in our country. Um, so you have a lot of, and matter of fact, don't forget that they talked about a lot of the Republicans. It was like 20% of the Republicans came over to the Democrats that were once Trump supporters, now have come over and now they're supporting the Harris campaign. And so they did mention that as well. And I remember seeing that on CNBC also, just watching how, the different parties, the select groups in different parties were, expressing their concern about the integrity of Donald Trump, and that those are things that they felt like that they couldn't compromise on
yeah,
because at some level, you have to have a conscience, and if you got children, if you got your children are watching this, and then they're also watching you as parents.
oh yeah, no
Who are
doubt.
you going for? They're watching. Okay,
All right,
you're supporting this person. Okay, and your kids are like, okay, well, I want to know why are you supporting that person? The everything that you hear that person saying, you told me not to do. You told me not to be that kind of person.
right.
But but yet I see I see you supporting this guy. So you know, so those are realities, and those are real things that politicians have to really contend with. because politicians are parents, and they have children that will challenge them on the moral integrity of their choice of who they will support, and that's real. That's so so there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things for people to think about based on the debate last night, and just moving forward with our country. And people have to really weigh what is valuable to them. Um, is integrity, is character a value? Is that a value to you? Um, or is policy a value to you? Or is public opinion about valuable to you? Where do your values lie? And so those are the kind of things that we really need to assess, as we're moving forward. So yeah, yeah. So that's
Okay.
it.
Well, listen, we want to thank everybody for chiming in. We just want to just speak about the debate last night. This is HBCU original. Listen up, if you're watching, young men, women on campus, abroad, alumni. Listen, choose your candidate wisely. Listen, it's not about personality. Sometimes it's about the truth. It's also about what can they do for you and your community. Make sure they're helping move the needle and not just scratching the record. Was also, hey, listen, chime in. We'll be at the HBCU New York Classic, the Morehouse College versus Howard University, and that will be on September 14th. That will be at MetLife Stadium. Hey, get your tickets, man. Listen, come on up to New York, watch the game. This is the Walmart and Toyota HBCU Classic game between Morehouse University and Howard University. So chime in for that too. All right. Anything else you want to say, Tom, for you out?
Man, listen, just make wise decisions as you are approaching this season, this political season. Just make some wise decisions. Pray about it. Pray about you know your selection, and just use the judgment. So that's all I got for you.
Peace, you guys.